Aries, the universe is screaming one final warning. Aries, from July 15th to July 17th, the universe is not whispering, it's shouting. A soul-shaking cosmic alert is active for you right now, and it's all revolving around one specific person who's about to re-enter your life. This is not just a regular reconnection or casual message. This is a karmic trap, and the warning signs couldn't be louder. For the past 900 years, in your ancestral and soul lineage, there has been a repeating energetic loop, one that keeps pulling you back into old stories, lost power, and toxic entanglements. But this time, if you heed the message, you can finally break it. In this video article, we'll break down the 4 Aries signs that this person is linked to the ancient curse, and why letting them back in could block your next 9 years of abundance, love, and purpose. Let's dive into the first shocking clue. Issue number 1. They come back. Exactly when you start healing Aries, it's not just bad timing, it's spiritual strategy, and not the good kind. The moment you finally start getting your life together, when your energy begins aligning, your clarity returns, and you feel a renewed sense of confidence, that's exactly when this person comes crawling back. Like clockwork. Every time. They don't just show up out of curiosity or coincidence. Their return is energetically calculated by the karmic cycle you've been working so hard to escape. This isn't about them watching your story on Instagram or liking an old post. It's far deeper than that. They feel it in their soul that you are pulling away from the karmic contract, and that scares them. On a spiritual level, your healing sends out a frequency, and that frequency threatens the grip they once had on you. Let's be brutally honest. This person is wired into a version of you that no longer exists. They're tied to the old you, the one who begged for love, the one who stayed silent to avoid conflict, the one who accepted crumbs because they didn't believe they deserved more. But now you're evolving, and that karmic contract, it's dying. And like any dying force, it's fighting to stay alive. That's why they return now, right before your next quantum leap. Because once you truly detach from their frequency, they lose access to your power. Here's what they won't say aloud, but their soul knows. You're leaving them behind. You've begun to reclaim your energy, your intuition, your divine truth. And they're panicking, so they come back with charm. With carefully chosen words, with "I've been thinking about you," or "I miss us," or "I've changed." But Aries, please hear this. Letting them back in now would be like taking a clean, golden arrow of destiny and bending it backward toward the past. It's not a second chance. It's a spiritual rewind, and it will cost you dearly. You've spent years crawling out of that darkness. You've cried on your bedroom floor. You've rebuilt your confidence piece by piece. You've done shadow work, therapy, prayer, journaling, all of it. And now, just when the door to your divine timeline is opening wide, they knock. Not because they're ready, but because you are. They're not showing up for your highest self. They're showing up to reclaim the version of you that once belonged to them. This isn't romantic. This isn't destiny. This is possession disguised as reconnection. So here's what you must ask yourself right now. Where were they when your world was falling apart? Where was this love when you were begging the universe for peace? Why is your healing suddenly a magnet for their attention? The truth will burn, but it will also set you free. You are not obligated to open the door to someone just because they finally realize what they lost. Their timing doesn't override your transformation. This is not your test anymore. It's your graduation. And if you say yes to them now, you say no to everything your higher self has been aligning for you. So, Aries, listen deeply. Do not open the door again, not this time. Because if you do, you'll lose the momentum you've worked lifetimes to build. You'll be sucked right back into the emotional quicksand that nearly drowned you before. And that's exactly how the ancient 900-year curse survives, by making you think you're rescuing love, when you're actually sabotaging your own rebirth. You're not here to repeat. You're here to rise. Let them stay where they belong in your past. Because your future, it's waiting for you, but only if you don't turn back. Issue number 2, they use guilt, regret, or spiritual talk to hook you, Aries. This is the trap too many never see coming. It's not rage, it's not yelling. It's not even manipulation in its obvious form. It's spiritual language used as bait. This person, whether it's an ex, a former friend, or even a family member, knows your soul responds to truth, to depth, to evolution. And they've studied you. Consciously or unconsciously, they know the exact words to trigger your compassion. They return with calm energy, with gentle tone, with poetic words like, "I've been doing shadow work lately. You taught me so much, I just wasn't ready before. I keep dreaming about you. I think we have unfinished karma. I've changed. I meditate now. I'm not who I used to be." It sounds enlightened. It sounds honest. It might even sound like fate. But Aries, it's not. This isn't healing. It's a strategy. What they're really saying underneath those mystical words is this: you've grown and I can feel you slipping out of my grip. So I'm shape-shifting into whatever version you'll still let in. This person has felt your energetic detachment. They know you're not the same version of yourself who cried for their love, who clung to their approval, who begged them to choose you. So now they try to re-enter through your heart chakra. And they'll use the exact language that makes you question your boundaries. Words like soulmate twin flame, divine timing, you're the only one who gets me. And here's why it works, especially on old soul Aries. Because you want to believe people can change. Because your spiritual side craves meaning. Because your empathic heart longs to understand. But that's exactly how the 900-year karmic curse survives, by disguising toxicity in robes of healing. It's not that they haven't done any work. Maybe they have journaled. Maybe they've read books or gone to therapy. But what matters is not what they say. It's what they do when they're back in your space. And Aries, you already know the pattern. One deep conversation, one passionate reconnection, one moment of vulnerability. Then boom, confusion, guilt, delays, emotional imbalance. They return with, "I've changed." But within weeks, you're back in the cycle of chaos masked as chemistry, apologies with no behavior shift, promises that never land. It's not a reunion. It's a reset of your old wounds. They're not reaching out because they're aligned with your higher self. They're reaching out because your light is rising and their ego is panicking. This isn't a test of forgiveness, it's a test of discernment. And Aries, that's your power now. Discernment doesn't mean you hate them. It doesn't mean you deny their progress. It just means you choose yourself over guilt. Because real transformation doesn't need to be proven through words. It reveals itself through consistent presence, action, and patience. And true spiritual connections don't pressure, rush, or pull you out of your peace. So if you're hearing things like, "If you were really spiritual, you'd give me another chance," you're blocking our soul contract by not responding. You're just afraid to grow together. Then please know, they are not speaking from love, they're speaking from fear. This is not the time to be soft. From July 15th to 17th, the universe is handing you the sword of clarity. Use it to cut cords, not reopen wounds. You are not cold for walking away. You are not heartless for blocking manipulation. You are not unspiritual for choosing peace over passion. You are awakened. You are untouchable. You are finally free. And now, Aries, it's your job to stay free. Issue number 3, they show up right before a major breakthrough. Aries, let's get real. Have you ever noticed that just when your life starts clicking, when the money starts flowing, the right people show up, and your inner fire is back? Someone from the past suddenly pops up out of nowhere. That's not random. That's energetic interference. And it's not about this person being evil or having bad intentions. It's about timing. cosmic timing, karmic timing. And unfortunately, that timing is designed to throw you off your divine path. This person's return between July 15th and 17th is no accident. It's a test. And not just any test. It's the final checkpoint before a powerful breakthrough. You are closer than ever to a major life shift. You may not fully see it yet, but the energy is already building around you. Think about it. Have you recently felt new business opportunities showing up? Are you getting signs in dreams, repeating numbers, or intuitive nudges? Do you feel like something big is about to break open, but you can't quite name it? That's because it is. You are literally days away from activating a new frequency, one that aligns with wealth, purpose, love, and clarity. This is the entry point into your next chapter. And that's exactly why this person shows up now. Not consciously, maybe. They might think they miss you. They might genuinely want to reconnect. But spiritually, they are acting as the anchor to your old vibration. And that's the danger. You think you're reconnecting with someone familiar, but in truth, you're disconnecting from your destiny. Let that land, because the real tragedy isn't that they come back. The tragedy is that you could let them in and delay your breakthrough by months or even years. This is how the 900-year karmic curse works. It doesn't need dark rituals or dramatic betrayal. All it needs is one thing, your distraction. One night of texting them. One deep emotional conversation that reopens old wounds. One, let's just grab coffee that turns into weeks of energetic confusion. And boom, your focus is shattered. Your motivation dips. Your energy becomes scattered. You stop showing up for your dreams. You stop trusting your intuition. You start questioning your path. And worst of all, you feel like something slipped away, but you can't quite explain it. That something is your breakthrough. It was right there, so close. But you traded it for a breadcrumb of nostalgia, for a shadow version of love, for a moment of emotional comfort that came with an invisible chain. Here's the cosmic truth. The universe will always test your readiness by bringing back what you once begged for, right before it gives you what you truly deserve. So Aries, you have a decision to make. Do you go back to someone who only knows the old version of you? Or do you rise forward into the version of yourself they were never meant to meet? Because if they were truly meant for your next chapter, they would have evolved with you. They wouldn't need to catch up to your growth. They wouldn't need to convince you with apologies. They would already be aligned. You don't owe them your future just because they were a part of your past. So when that call or message comes, when your body feels pulled but your spirit hesitates, pause, breathe. Remember this truth. What you're walking toward is bigger than what you're walking away from. Your breakthrough is real. It's already forming in the quantum field, but only if you keep walking. So don't look back. Don't text back. Don't fall back. The door behind you is closing. For a reason. Let it. Because on the other side, your miracle is waiting. Issue number 4. You feel physically ill or spiritually confused around them. Aries, let's talk about what your body already knows, even if your heart is still unsure. This is the final, clearest, and most undeniable sign that this person is not meant to be part of your future. It's not always dramatic. It's often subtle, but it's powerful beyond words. Because when you hear from them, or even think about them, your body reacts. You might feel a sudden tightness in your chest, nausea that you can't explain, a pressure in your stomach, brain fog, like your thoughts are scrambled, exhaustion, even if you've had enough rest, weird dreams or outright nightmares that leave you shaken. Aries, this is not coincidence. This is your nervous system screaming for protection. Your soul is wise, and your body is a vessel for that wisdom. It holds memory far beyond what your conscious mind can process, and right now it's trying to warn you, that queasy feeling, it's not anxiety, that mental confusion. It's not just fatigue. That pull toward them. It's not love. It's unresolved karma. You're not crazy. You're not cold. You're awakening. In fact, the pull you feel toward them might even seem magnetic, like gravity. Like you can't help but respond, answer, care. But here's the hard truth. That pull is not destiny. It's a contract. And that contract has expired. They are tied to a past version of you that no longer fits who you're becoming. They represent the identity you had when you still doubted your worth, your intuition, your light. And now that you're rising into your next timeline, they're clinging to you like a ghost trying to re-enter a body it no longer belongs in. The 900-year curse isn't always violent or obvious. Sometimes it hides in familiarity. It whispers, maybe they've changed. Maybe this time will be different. Or you can't just walk away forever. But your intuition already knows. Your chest tightens when their name shows up on your phone. Your energy dips after every interaction. Your forward motion halts the moment you let them back in. These aren't coincidences. They're cosmic alarms going off inside your soul. Here's what's really happening. The universe is testing your boundaries. It's asking, are you sure you're done with this old pattern? It's watching. Will you honor your evolution, or will you slip back into spiritual amnesia? This is the final test before the portal opens wide between July 15th and 17th. In this thin, energetic window, your clarity is heightened. Your spiritual vision is sharper, but only if you pause long enough to actually listen to your body. Ask yourself, do I feel free after connecting with them or trapped? Do I feel empowered or like I'm being dragged into an old story? Does my body soften in their presence or tense up like it's preparing for pain? Your nervous system never lies, Aries, and neither does your higher self. This isn't about hate. This isn't about revenge. This is about release. Release the guilt. Release the what ifs. Release the idea that you owe anyone access to you just because they finally woke up. Because here's the most important truth of all. If you walk away this time, if you stay grounded in your knowing, if you trust what your body is telling you, you won't have to repeat this cycle ever again. You will break the curse that has haunted your spirit and your bloodline for nearly a millennium. You will stop the loop from echoing into your children, your creations, your future. And in its place, you'll create space for someone new. Someone who doesn't need to be convinced of your worth. Someone who meets you where you are, not where you used to be. Someone who speaks the language of your healing, not your wounding. This is not just a turning point, Aries. This is a portal. Walk through it and don't look back. Final message. Aries, this is a timeline split. You choose the outcome. Aries, these 3 days, July 15th, 16th, and 17th, are not just dates on a calendar. They are a cosmic crossroad. In one timeline, you let them back in. You feel the old chemistry, the old hope, and then the old heartbreak. You shrink again. You question again. You delay your blessings another year or lifetime. In the other timeline, you pause. You listen. You choose yourself. You say no. And in that silence, the future begins. The curse breaks. The next chapter activates. And everything you've been working for starts rushing toward you. You know what you need to do, Aries. Close the door and keep it closed. Comment below, I choose my future, not my past. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone else who needs to hear this warning. Your next chapter depends on the decisions you make right now.